Hi, thanks for watching today's video. I'm Brian, the Finance Ninja. Today, we are discussing GM's battery fire disaster. Seriously, this is really bad, guys. It can burn down your house. It's bad. We're also going to be discussing the top ranked analyst who recommended GM stock literally 1 week ago. He is the top 1% of the top 1% of analysts. I mean, this is a blunder of epic proportions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is both the scariest and the funniest news item of the week. Literally, you cannot make this stuff up. Hollywood cannot make this stuff up. Today, we will discuss the analyst who made this disastrous prediction, Daniel Ives, the top 1% of the top 1%. I mean, how do you make this kind of a blunder? We will also be discussing the battery fire disaster at GM. A complete disaster. And just remember, this channel is for education purposes only. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not your financial advisor. So please, do your own research. So let's get to it. Let's start with the funny, then the scary. Yep, it's none other than Daniel Ives. Dan, you're normally so spot on. Look at his ranking. 76% success rate, 36% return. Ranked number 32 out of 7,600 analysts. Dan Ives is in the top 1% of the top 1%. I mean, he should have had Tesla as a buy in 2019 and 2020, but I've seen worse. Dan Ives heaps praise on Tesla whenever he's on the air. Overall, his ranking is impeccable. So what does Dan Ives have to say about GM? This was published July 9th, 1 week ago. Dan Ives says GM is at an inflection point as they drive towards an electric future. Yeah, an inflection point that burns down people's houses. Dan Ives says GM is a disruptive technology play. I mean, this is total nonsense. Look at where the top engineers are going. Number 1 and number 2 swap between SpaceX and Tesla depending on the day. SpaceX and Tesla are the top of the top destinations for the best engineers. GM? Well, GM and the other legacy automakers are third tier, that is, the lowest. Not speaking ill of their engineers, but let's face facts. If those engineers were offered a job at Tesla, they would take it immediately. Dan goes on to say that GM should trade at multiples to the likes of Tesla and other EV pure plays as GM executes on its vision. Now, I don't know what GM's vision is, but I think it has something to do with burning down people's houses. Maybe the vision has to do with partnering with Nikola? Oh right, Nikola is being investigated by the DOJ. Or maybe their vision is to partner up with Lordstown Motors. Oh right, they're under investigation too. I admit it looks like GM is at least trying, but their management, chief executive officer in particular, has no clue what she's doing. They are incompetent. Then Dan Ives goes on and leaps praise on GM's so-called game-changing battery technology. Oh yeah, about that. Now for the scary. And funny if you're into that kind of thing. GM warns some Bolt EV owners don't park them inside or charge them unattended overnight. Where do most EV owners charge their cars again? Oh, that's right, at home. And GM is saying don't charge their cars in your home because your GM car might burn it down. That is frightening. These cars were made between 2017 and 2019. GM already thought they found the issue and did a recall. And then these cars caught fire after the recall so-called fix. Well, I guess the fix didn't work. The marketing speaks for itself. Don't buy GM. GM will burn down your house. Buy a Tesla instead. So, remember what happens when there is a bad news story about Tesla that ends up being false? Let's take the woman in China who screamed that her brakes weren't working. The news media were all over it. What was the truth? Her father was driving and he was speeding. He slammed on the brakes prior to the accident, slowing the car from 118 kilometers per hour to 48 kilometers per hour. Does that sound like a car with failing brakes? No, it looks like somebody who was speeding, slammed on the brakes, and hit the car in front of him. It's very sad. I don't like to see people get into accidents, but she was lying. This information was all recorded on the car's data recorder. Not only that, he hit the brakes 40 times in the half hour prior to the accident. In every instance, the brakes worked perfect. The media was all over it, screaming, "Tesla is unsafe! Tesla is unsafe!" Did we see a news retraction when the truth was revealed? No. Let's see if GM's tacit admission is treated the same. Is this Hollywood? No, it's real life. Don Ives made a recommendation he will soon regret. I mean, really, GM, the company that got in bed with Nikola, and then when that blew up, Lordstown Motors? I mean, just one disaster after one disaster. One bad decision after one bad decision. This is an executive team you cannot trust. They are very, very, very bad at their jobs, and they just are a complete disaster for GM. Just, oh my lord, my lord, my lord. GM literally just admitted, buy their car, they will burn down your house. Like and subscribe if you like this content. A very special thank you to the channel members. Thank you to the patrons. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. You keep this channel going. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.